shortly. Please note that I'll recognize you, saying that you have the floor. Once recognized, please state your name and then begin to speak. Tonight's invocation will be done by Archbishop William Lori of the Catholic Archdiocese of Baltimore. His Excellency will be joining us pretty shortly. Unfortunately, he just had some connectivity issue and is looking to rejoin. In the interest of time, what we'll do next is we will go to the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, I'll ask folks to turn to a flag, put a flag on your computer, but state the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, Archbishop Lori. Oh, he's back. There you are.
I'm back down here.
No problem. So at this time, Your Excellency, we would like to yield the floor to you. I know you're going to give us a little history. You're going to give us, as well as memorialize us with a prayer. Your Archbishop Lori, you can do it in however order you would like to do it. If you would like to do the history and somehow that flows into your prayer, or you would like to do the prayer and somehow that flows into the history, whatever it is, we're yielding the floor to you. So thank you so much for your time tonight.
Well, thank you. I'll start with the prayer if everyone can hear me, and we'll begin. Let us pray. O God of compassion, justice, and love, we ask your blessing upon the city of Baltimore, upon our diverse communities and peoples. We thank you for the gifts and talents of mind, heart, and spirit with which you have endowed those who call this city their home. Help us to find new and better ways to put the gifts you have given us at the service of one another and at the service of those most in need. And guide us to help all residents to develop their gifts and talents for their own sake, for the common good, and in praise of your goodness. Pour out your spirit of wisdom and unity upon this city council in its leadership and service to the people of Baltimore. Grant the members of this council vision, skill, and strength in helping to lead the way in building a community of equity, justice, and compassion, a place of safety, peace, and opportunity. Strengthen us in the struggle against racism and against all forms of violence, and help us to create a culture of life and love, especially for the new generations among us. Enable all segments of our community to come together in a spirit of cooperation so as to envision and bring about a future full of hope for everyone in this great city. We make our prayer in thy holy name. Amen. Well, thank you very, very much for the opportunity to address you and to pray with you today. And at the outset, just want to thank you, President Mosby, and the members of the City Council for your leadership during these incredibly challenging times. I know you're trying to make this city a home where everybody feels included and safe and supported in their efforts to live productive lives and to follow their dreams. I can't address you tonight without thinking about a little bit of history. One piece of history is this: about 50 years ago or more, my predecessor, Cardinal Lawrence Sheehan, testified before the Baltimore City Council in favor of open housing legislation, particularly opening housing to African Americans. Sadly, his testimony was met by booing from the crowd, but he remained calm and he carried on. He delivered his testimony, and thank God those legislative efforts were successful. I'm hoping not to be booed this evening, but I think it's a reminder of the importance of the church and our city leadership working together for the good of our residents. In Baltimore, the Archdiocese of Baltimore has been around a long time. We are the first Roman Catholic diocese in the United States. We go back to 1789. And so we have a long history, and I hope that the history that we will write now will be one of helping people move toward equity, independence, and a life of fulfillment. We also have a pretty big footprint in the city, I would say. I think you've all received information in advance of this. We have 46 parishes, 18 K-12 schools, 3 hospitals, 3 universities, and an expansive Catholic charities, many programs, not to mention the Franciscan Center and St. Vincent de Paul. I think through our history, there has been a continued and consistent commitment to feeding the hungry, housing the homeless, healing the sick, educating the young, especially in our most challenged neighborhoods, and offering support and compassion where needed. During COVID, I'm proud to say that our city parish has really stepped up to the plate in terms of providing food pantries, many other necessary services. And some of our parishes were testing sites and vaccination clinics. So there's been a lot going on. I would say that when you add it all up, next to the city of Baltimore, the Archdiocese of Baltimore, combined with Catholic Charities, is the next largest provider of social services. And I do not say that to pat myself or my colleagues on the back. That's something that the Catholic community is happy to do together. And I'm mentioning it so that we can continue to work together to focus these services where they are most needed and where they will do the most good for those who are most in need. One of the things I would also like to say is that I've been blessed to meet with any number of the members of the City Council individually. This is my first time being with you, I think, all together. I want to continue those meetings, develop those relationships, and especially am happy to advocate with you for the good of the city, whether it's with the governor, whether it's with the legislature, or in any other forum. I think there are so many ways we can come together for the good of the people that we serve. In closing, I'd just like to mention 3 significant things that are underway in the Archdiocese and through Catholic Charities. First, I'm happy to say that we're coming very close to the opening of our new Mother Mary Lang Catholic School on Martin Luther King Boulevard at the end of the summer. We're going to cut the ribbon on August the 6th. You're all invited. It's a really beautiful state-of-the-art school. Its capacity is 550 young people from pre-K to grade 8. And most of these will be eligible for financial aid. And we are making this school as accessible as we can to everyone. I can't wait for you to see it for yourselves. The gymnasium, for example, every Catholic high school wants to play their games in this new gymnasium. There's a soccer and lacrosse field with a great turf field surface. I want to thank Councilman Costello and Councilman Bullock, because, you know, putting up a new school in the middle of a neighborhood takes more than architectural planning. They really opened doors for us so that the surrounding community would see this new school not as an intrusion, but rather as an asset. And I would say one more thing about this school and our other community schools. I think that we are partners with the public schools, and our goal is simply to open doors of opportunities for young people to help them develop their God-given talents and to give them a real chance in life. So thank you to the City Council. Thank you for helping us get through the permitting process and all the other steps we had to take. I think you're going to like what you see. Second, I just want to mention safe streets. We mourn the death of Dante Barksdale, but I think his passing has underlined for me the heroism of the people who run Safe Streets. Catholic Charities sponsors two of them, one in Brooklyn neighborhood and one in Sandtown. And these efforts, as you know so well, really help to reduce violence. We're working in partnership with the Baltimore Police Department and Roberta's House to provide outreach to families who have lost loved ones to violence. And we want to do everything we can to help reduce violence in our city and to cherish every single resident. And finally, the Archdiocese has been doing a little soul searching of its own. It's one thing to say we're providing services and sometimes to toot our horn, although we're not really very good at that. But I think we also need to look not only at our own history, but how we can eliminate racism in our midst. To that end, I wrote a pastoral letter a couple of years ago called Journey to Racial Justice and put together a racial justice work group, very diverse, a lot of activists, a lot of different points of view. They worked really hard over the past year and just gave me a series of recommendations that will lead to a comprehensive plan across the Archdiocese, not only Baltimore, but all 9 counties of Maryland, all 144 parishes, all of our nearly 50 schools, to address racism, to work on inclusion, diversity, and equity, and to see how we can undergo where it needs to happen, a true culture change. And in that way, make also our contribution to the larger society. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I've probably used up more of my time and more of your time than I should have. But if anyone has any questions or comments, I'm happy to take them. Or if you want to do that offline, that's fine too.
Well, Your Excellency, you are always welcome here. Archbishop Lori, you are a treasure. We thank you for that brief history. It really puts in context what leadership means at particular times. And sometimes leadership doesn't always mean listen to the loudest folks in the room, but allowing your heart and your moral to be your guiding compass for making decisions. So we truly, truly thank you. As legislators of the city, we are kind of put in that predicament on a regular basis. Your words were definitely inspirational. So thank you, Archbishop Lori. We will be definitely back in touch. We look forward to that ribbon cutting at the end of the summer, and always know that you have a safe and friendly place to come and let us know what's going on in the community here on the Baltimore City Council.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, members of the council, so very much.
Thank you so much, Archbishop Laurie.
Okay.
With that, we're going to move into a roll call. So, Madam Clerk, if you could read the roll.
President Mosby, Councilmember Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Stokes, Glover, and Ramos. Mr. President, we have a quorum.
Yes, and I think if we could ensure that the record reflects that Councilmember Dorsey will not be attending, is not in attendance of tonight's meeting. We will now proceed to the adoption of the journal. Madam Clerk.
Mr. President, the journal of the June 8th, 2021 proceedings are on the council members' desk.
Without objection, the journal will be adopted. Hearing none and seeing none, the journal is now adopted. Now communications from the mayor can be found on page 2 of the agenda. We will now go into introduction for first reading. Bills to be introduced. Madam Clerk, 21-0098.
City Council Bill 21-0098, zoning conditional use conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to 5 dwelling units in the R8 zoning district. Variances 1100 West Lafayette Avenue. For the purpose of permitting, subject to certain conditions, the conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to 5 dwelling units in the R8 zoning district of the property known as 1100 West Lafayette Avenue, Block 79, Lot 1, as shown on the accompanying plat with the lot number circled. Sponsors are Councilmember Bullock.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This bill has been assigned to Economic Community Development in committee. That ends the work associated with first reading. Now on to consent calendar. You can find the consent calendar in section A at the back of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion has been approved and properly second. All those in favor of approving the consent calendar, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries and the calendar is now approved. We will now move on to bills on second reader. I do not believe we do. At this point, I will call Chairman Costello. Chairman Costello.
Mr. President, I think we're up to rules and oversight. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're going to go to rules and oversight first, but was looking to do short titles.
Oh,
So Chairman Schleifer, if you could call for short titles.
take his job from him. I'd like to move for short titles for the rest of the hearing.
Thank you, Chairman. Hearing, are there any objections to moving to short titles for the remainder? Hearing and seeing none, we will be a body that will be functioning in short titles. The first committee that we're going to go to, Rules and Oversight. Madam Clerk, if you could read in EA 21-31.
Mr. President, my apologies for the audio.
You have been you've been 100% until tonight, but Chairman Schleifer stepped in, so we're good. Chairman Costello, Madam Clerk, if you could read in EA 21-31.
EA 21-31, Jason W. Mitchell, Director of Department of Public Works.
At this point, I would like to yield the floor to Chairman Schleifer.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Rules and Legislative Oversight Committee held a hearing on EA-0031 on June 10th, 2021, and approved it unanimously. I'd like to move this nomination favorable.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a motion on the floor to approve the confirmation of Mr. Jason W. Mitchell as the next Director of Department of Public Works. I've heard a second from Chairman Conway. It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor of approving this nomination, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This nomination is now approved. Before we move on, I would like to congratulate Director Mitchell. He has a big job ahead of him, and on behalf of the council, I want to let him know that we're here to help him and meet any challenges before him. We have all done our vetting of him and have seen the amazing work that he's done on the West Coast. We look forward to him bringing that energy to Baltimore City We expect big things, as well as we know our residents need big things. So congratulations, Director Mitchell. Now on to bills on third reading. We turn to the final passage of them. Madam Clerk, if you could read in 21-1.
21-1, surveillance technology in Baltimore. President Mosby, Councilmember Cohen, Councilmember McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer,
No.
Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello,
No.
Stokes, Glover, and Ramos.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This bill is approved on a vote of 12-2. Please note that Councilman Ryan Dorsey is absent, and in nays are Chairman Schleifer as well as Chairman Costello. Madam Clerk, on to 21-19.
21-0019, Baltimore City Office of LGBTQ Affairs. President Mosby, Councilmember Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved on a vote of 14-0. Again, Councilman Dorsey is absent. I'd like to thank Councilman Burnett for sponsoring this bill. It's appropriate that this bill happens right in the middle of Pride Month. While it's become common for the mayor's office to have an LGBTQ liaison, this bill ensures that things will change moving forward, and that we don't see a new liaison from administration to administration, but it's actually a functioning office inside of city government to ensure that we're keeping with the ideals of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and providing, again, a consistent voice in city government. We are excited to get this bill right over to the mayor, and hopefully we look to get it signed in the midst of Pride Month. So I know folks will be working to get this bill over to Mayor Brandon Scott. Next on, finishing our third reader, we're going to go on to committee announcements. Chairs, when you hear your committee call, please proceed with any announcements. First up is Madam Vice President with Economic and Community Development. Madam Vice President, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Economic and Community Development Committee will hold the following virtual WebEx briefing, and that's tomorrow at 6:15:21. The time will be 2:30 p.m. and it's a legislative oversight 21-0010. And it's a briefing on the emergency security deposit relief for the purpose of reviewing the program, which would allow for distribution of federal community services block grant funds to be used for emergency security deposits. So this is a briefing based on the mayor's announcement. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Next up, we're going to go to Education, Workforce, and Youth. Chairman Stokes, the floor is yours. Chairman Stokes, we cannot hear you.
Sorry, Mr. President, no announcements.
Well, thank you, Chairman Stokes. Next up, we'll go to Health, Environment, and Technology. Chairman McCray, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. There are no announcements.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Next up, we're going to Public Safety and Government Operations, SGO. Chairman Conway, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've got a bunch of announcements. So first, the Public Safety and Government Operations Committee will be meeting on Wednesday, June 16th, 2021 at 2 p.m. Virtually to hear Bill 21-0066, Precluded Investment and Divestment Fossil Fuel Companies, sponsored by myself, Chair Conway. The Public Safety and Government Operations will also be meeting June 16th, Wednesday at 2:01 p.m. to hear Bill 21-0033, MRE's LGBTQ Procurement Preference Act, sponsored by Councilmember Odette Ramos. We'll be meeting on Wednesday, June 30th, 2021 at 1 p.m. virtually to hear Bill LO 21-0006, the Quarterly Crime Stats and Violence Prevention Plan, sponsored by myself, Chair Conway. And Mr. President, can I have permission to suspend Rule 10-2 and 10-3 to announce a hearing?
Are there any objections to suspending Rules 10-2 and 10-3? Hearing, seeing none, please proceed, Chairman Conway.
Thank you. The Public Safety and Government Operations Committee will be hearing Bill 21-0049R, investigative hearing, existing alternatives to policing strategies, on Wednesday, June 30th, 2021 at 1:01 p.m. And the Public Safety and Government Operations Committee will be hearing Bill 21-0041R, informational hearing on domestic violence in Baltimore City on Wednesday, June 30th, 2021 at 1:02 p.m. virtually. The committee will also be hearing Bill 21-0017R, investigative hearing, arson and fire fatality awareness, reinstituting the Baltimore City Joint Agency Task Force on Wednesday, July 7th, 2021 at 1 p.m. virtually. And this is sponsored by Councilmember Chris Burnett. The committee will also have a hearing for LO 21-0009, Baltimore City Fire Department EMT paramedic pre-employment screening and hiring process on Wednesday, June 7th, 2021 at 1:01 p.m. virtually. And that's sponsored by myself, Chairman Conway. And that's all we have.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. From SGO, we're going to move over to Rules and Legislative Oversight. Chairman Schleifer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have no announcements at this time.
Thank you, Chairman. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to move to Chairman Costello with Ways and Means.
No announcements. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Now on to regular announcements. Are there any members that would like to provide any regular announcements at this time? Hearing and seeing none, I would like to recognize Vice President Sharon Green Middleton at this time.
Thank you, Mr. President. The next meeting of the City Council will be held on Monday, June 21st, 2021 at 5 p.m. And may we have a moment of silence for now the 146 victims of homicide and their family, and the 1,089 deaths from COVID thus far, and also our families that continue to suffer from our opioid epidemic.
There being no additional business at the desk, this concludes the 13th meeting of the 73rd term of your Baltimore City Council. We love you, Baltimore. Thank you.